Okay, now we are in Fairlight and we're going to look on how to balance or normalize the sound in different ways, and I'm going to add a few keyframes to it as well. So this sound file is just completely raw now, and we need to add a few things. So if I play this, if you see here in this clip, you hear this line, that is 0 decibel. So you should not really have these sound bits going over that. On the mixer is -10. So if I play here, you see the red bit goes up all the way up here, and it leaves a little mark there. So it goes very close to 0 decibel, which is critical. If it touches 0 decibel and goes above that, it's going to be unrepairable distortion and some digital artifacts that is undesirable. It just sounds really, really bad. I can manually put keyframes in here and just lower this sound here. So I just click Option and I click here and I get a keyframe, and then I can click one afterwards and I get another keyframe. And I'm going to zoom in, so I'm using this zoom tool up here. You can also do all the other zoom tools. And here I will add another and a third and a fourth keyframe. And the keyframe is, so if we look at up here, so each little bar here is where a frame starts. And the keyframe, if I now open the inspector here, you can see here, there are red dots there. If I move the timeline and I add another, I do Option and I create another keyframe, you see that it turned up red here. I delete that and now I undo it and now I redo it. So you can see, so here under the volume, you can see that there's a keyframe added. I'm just going to delete that because I only need this 4. So you can also add a keyframe by clicking here. See? So we have a keyframe over here now. So I'm turning off inspector because we're just going to show this version first how you do it. So I added this 1, 2, 3, 4 keyframes. And now I'm going to pull this down. And now you see that all this, I'm just lowering the volume. So if we play that, yeah, we can lower it a little bit more. So that's one way of doing it. So if I open up the inspector again, so look here at the sound volume. If the sound volume is over here, you see it's 0 decibel here. And look now if I'm playing it. It goes down and then it goes up again. The other way of doing it is to doing it all here in inspector. So I'll pull the playhead to just before that sound, and then I click on that little square there, a little diamond. And we have a keyframe. Here is the keyframe. And I can pull it a little bit further and add another keyframe. Add a third keyframe and add the 4th keyframe. And now you can see there's a little arrow here, and that backs to the keyframe prior to the one that you are at, and then here. And you can see now how the playhead jumps from keyframe to keyframe. And the keyframe is, so on this keyframe, I want the sound to go down to, let's say, -8, or let's say -10. And then I want to go to the one before there, and I want it to go to, here I want it to go down to maybe -15 here. I want the curve to look like that. So if we play this, and we look here at what's happening here, you can see that the lever goes down and you can see the values here. So that is just a very simple way of turning up and down the volume. It just turns up and down the volume. It doesn't do anything else with it. So, but a lot of audio effects, you can do that. You can use it on video effects, and then of course you can use it on the effects that you will use. When it will start, how much percentage of that effect that you will use. You can control that, and by frame by frame by frame. So that means with the sound that you can have a low sound volume, and then you higher the sound volume and you lower the sound volume. You can also do this with equalizer if you want to have a more bassy sound in the beginning of a clip and more treble at the end. You can adjust that. So keyframes are very, very important tools to use.